complicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead?
How you going, guys? Welcome back to another video. I do apologise if you do hear any wind noise in this video. I actually left my microphones at home, so you may hear a little bit of noise here and there. Look, welcome to the video. On this episode, we're going to be checking out the next car in line for me to do the body repairs and the paintwork on. Now, it's a 1974 Ford Coupe, but it's an XB, one of the best ones. This car's had some extensive work done on it so far. It's been on a rotisserie. For those that don't know, a rotisserie is what actually bolts to the front and the rear of the car, and it flips upside down so you can do all the work on underneath the car, and it makes life so much easier. So it's had a full rotisserie sandblast inside and out. It's had all the rust cut out, sections welded in, a little bit of heat shrinking here and there to strengthen those panels back up, which also makes the panels really easy to repair. I'll swing the camera around now. We'll try and keep this video nice and short. The weather's looking a bit horrible, so we'll have to make this pretty quick. But yeah, let's get into the video. You're gonna love it. It's had a heap of work done on this car, and I thought I'd show you what's been done and what I'm gonna do to start this car off. Right, well, here it is. The 74 XB Coupe. As you can see on this left-hand rear quarter panel, it's had a little bit of heat shrinking done on it due to the amount of warpage that may have occurred from welding in these large sections. Now, there's a few little things that I've got to do to tidy them up. I want to grind back these welds a little bit more flatter. There's a few low spots here and there, which is caused from all that heat from the welding. It's had a few sections welded in around this wheel arch, and one down the bottom here, down the dog leg of the quarter panel. A repair welded in down of the bottom corner of that left-hand front door. Just looking at this sill panel, or the rocker panel as the Yankees call it, it's still got all the tabs on it from where the mold actually clips onto. It's really good to see that they're in great nick from being sandblasted. Sometimes they bend and warp, and yeah, you have to try and put new ones on it. It's an absolute nightmare sometimes to put them on. Coming onto this guard here, the whole lower section's been cut off and welded a new section in. They've done a pretty decent job. It seems to all match up with the door and things like that, pretty decent. It's going to need obviously some pillar work just to tidy things up, the welds up and stuff like that. But yeah, all the insides have all been painted. Might be a bit dark in here for you to see. But yeah, as I said, it's been on a rotisserie. All the undercarriage has been painted, stone guarded, and all that kind of jazz. A little bit of tapping up, hammering and dolly marks here. But apart from that, the guard and door looks like it's in really good condition. Moving on to the bonnet now. As you can see, it's got some etch prime here, what is probably etch prime, most likely. There's been some repairs done on the underside. That will need tidying up. I noticed that the steel they've actually welded in hasn't been put in the right spot. It's a little bit difficult to show you that because it gets very, very dark under here with the camera, and you can't really see it. So see how it goes dark? So you'll have to wait until the bonnet's off the car and it's flipped upside down, and I'll show you that at a later stage. But yeah, apart from that, the bonnet looks to be in pretty good nick. It's had some heat shrinking done there at the back there. But yeah, overall looks to be very good. The owner or someone at some stage has painted the engine bay, but one thing I did notice that it hasn't been seam sealed. So I'm going to repaint the engine bay for the owner and re-seam seal all those seams that have had all the sealer blasted out from the sandblasting stage. One thing I did notice this morning is that the paint is actually coming off on this skirt here. I've got a feeling that the hinge is hitting it when the bonnet closes. And also looking at those bolt holes on the hinge here, the hinge is actually at its maximum lowest adjustment point. So it really needs to come up. But then when you look at the bonnet when it's closed, look how far it sits up. So we might have to do some modifications to that hinge so it doesn't rub. It's actually doing it on both sides. There's a little bit coming off here as well, right there. So we'll just have to have a quick look at that later. That's miles down the track anyway. But yeah, I did notice on the front clip here that it's had some welds done on this rad support. Camera pick it up, yeah, just here in the middle here. But it hasn't been tidied up, smoothed off, and like primed and painted. Same with here. See the welds down there? There's a lot of grinding marks and stuff like that. Now, to me, in my opinion, it looks like the rad support was all epoxy primed. They've just sanded it down and painted it. Now, it's probably not up to my standard. I'm going to tidy all this up, smooth it all off, prime and paint it so it's dead smooth. It's going to look beautiful. Okay, let's move on to the driver's side front guard. Very similar to the passenger side. It's had a big section welded in down that lower. Apart from that, looks to be in pretty good nick. It's probably one of the best panels on the car, pretty much. The driver's door's got a big low spot at the back. Massive big low spot there. There is access on the inside, so I'll be able to get some hammers and dollies and try and push that out a little bit. But yeah, excuse me. But yeah, I'll probably end up using my dent stud puller, and I'll end up pulling that out in certain areas to pull that out. But yeah, the edge of the guard's not too bad, lines up, but we'll have to get the pins, like the check strappy things on, and the hinges at some stage. Not the hinges, the latches and stuff, and just make sure that everything lines up. But apart from that, the door's in pretty decent condition. The quarter panel's in pretty good nick. I did, however, notice that there looks like there's some surface rust in this area here, which has just been epoxied over. I'll probably grind that back and have a good look at that. If it looks to be okay, I'll probably just like rust treat it and then epoxy that area again, and just have to put a little bit of filler over that. But as I said, I'll have a good look at it first. I'll sand that epoxy off and have a real good look. There's a few low spots here from someone pushing down high spots. Looks like they've actually caused some dents there. Looks like there's some file marks there as well. So we'll have to have a good look at that. I think the lowers of the quarters have been replaced too. It might have been the other side I'm thinking of. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Roof looks to be pretty good. It's still got the pins. Actually, I think it's missing a pin here. It's meant to have a pin there. Yeah, there's one on the other side, but not one here. So we'll have to address that and get a pin put back on. What I have used in the past, if I can't get pins, is actually using a pot rivet. You can actually use a rivet in there. I've actually used that in the past around windows when there's like chrome and stuff like that, like the little plastic clips that go on the little, like those metal studs. Yeah, you can use rivets sometimes to as like a bit of a quick fix if you can't get the proper studs. You get into the boot now. Okay, boot is open. Okay, looks to be pretty clean on the inside here. There's a little bit of looks like sandblasting dust in the paint. Honestly, I'll probably repaint the whole inside of this again. Like, let's be honest, it's probably, I mean, look, it's orange, it's not transparent. It looks to be done okay. Probably not up to my standard, so we'll redo all that, and we'll see if we can put some new sealer down around those tail light buckets and stuff like that. Yeah, see, it's very transparent here and stuff. But yeah, inside the boot jams here, just some welds that need to be tidied up. I'll probably get a die grinder in there and smooth all that off, wipe a little bit of filler in, and then prime it. Boot looks to be in good nick underneath as well. When sandblasting, they actually get rid of all the sealer and there's no sealer there. Actually, it looks to me like the skin, I don't know what's going on here, we'll have to have a look at that. But see how you can see the skin, like the outer skin's folded around and it comes up, but then it disappears. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll have a good look at that later. That's like nothing to worry about. We'll just have a look at that later. We've got some surface rust starting here. There might have been a weld there and they've just ground it back, but we'll epoxy that. Especially with me touching it with my fingers, that's just going to cause more surface rust, so we'll have to grind all that back, epoxy that again. Same with this quarter panel too. I noticed that like the heat shrinking must have been done after it was epoxied for some reason. And there's a lot of bare metal showing as well, so I'll probably sand all this down and re-epoxy it, just so we cover up all those bare metal spots. I will use a rust treatment and steel conditioner over those steel areas and then epoxy it. But yeah, a couple of the welds need to be fixed up. There's holes everywhere, and not enough of the weld has been ground down, so we'll have to grind all them up. There's a few little dents here and there. But guys, that's the Xb Coupe. How you see it is how it is. There's no hidden secrets on this car, and that's why I want to do it. I've been looking forward to doing this car for probably 2 or 3 months now, and I'm finally at that stage now where I've got no other cars to do except this one. I do have another car which is needs some rust repairs done on the roof, and I'm going to paint the roof on it. That's a HQ wagon. That's just another side project that I'll do between like jobs on this. If I'm waiting for epoxy to dry, something like that, I'll jump onto that other car. Probably won't make any content on that car, as it's pretty much just like a quick in and out sort of job. I might show some before and after photos or something like in a video at some stage, but this car is going to be the main focus for the YouTube channel at the moment, for content. So that pretty much sums it up, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just wanted to keep it pretty basic, but yeah, that's the Xb Coupe.
Intoxicated, we're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards